Let's see, there's nobody here yet. Okay, I'm just gonna do the dance party. Just wait. Hi. Okay. Oh, that's good to see people. I know, right? Okay, perfect. So I'm not gonna waste much time now because we only have like 40 minutes. So we're gonna demo some of the poses, content photographer. Okay, perfect. Perfect, photographer. So I guess we're gonna gear it towards both sides. So it's mostly for photographers, but I see that some people, they want to learn how to pose for their own pictures. So I'll try to give you some tips as well. Basically for photographer people, I'm gonna be inviting you to my posing like full in-person masterclass on June 26th. So if you want to check it out, go to my website. KseniaPro.com, and you will see like for photographers, and you can learn more about that workshop. But it's mostly geared towards photographers, how to direct people, how to pose people, what works for different body types and things like that. So, but today we're not gonna waste much time because the time is precious, right? Yes. So just get to it. Whoever's with us, we're just gonna go with you guys. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch the camera to the other one, and give me a second to do that so you guys can see the set. We just built this beautiful set. Do you want to come sit there? Yeah, move it. So this is Nigar. For those who don't know, you have to follow her, guys, because she's just an inspiration and style and home decor. Like everything she touches turns into gold. So you have to follow her. Styles by Nigar, and she's gonna be modeling the beautiful poses for us. She's extremely good with posing, so it's going to be super easy for me today, but at the same time it's just going to go faster so I can demonstrate some of the things that you can do. So we're going to start with something very basic. You can do some things with me. So as a photographer, you kind of know how you want the pose to look like, and as a model as well, it goes both ways. So if you can visualize it, so the easiest way to do it, if you're just a beginner and you're getting ready for a photo shoot, pull up like a few pictures that you really love in terms of the poses and keep it on your phone. So I suggest that you do only like a couple complicated poses for like if you're just starting out in a shoot, and then the rest will be just more basic, because this way you're not going to be stressed out as much. And the same thing goes for models or like content creators, influencers, right? So if you want to try something new, don't try to do like all the fancy poses for one shoot, because chances are some of them will look awkward from the first try. So just give yourself some grace and some like learning period as well. For models, it's easy if you see yourself. So if you're taking pictures of yourself, it's much easier if you like actually see what's happening and like what angle you need, so you have full control, because you're a photographer and a model at the same time, right? You did all this time, all the time. So all the time. For photographers, you have to be the creative control, the direction of how it looks like, because she's on the other side of the camera. She can't see what's happening, like where are you cropping, what angle you're actually taking the pose from. So even with experienced models, when I work with the actual models, they still need direction because they can't see which angle you're taking the pictures from. So long story short, let's start with some basic poses that you can do without breaking a sweat. So let's start with something very simple. So the easiest way to explain the pose to a person, if you can demonstrate it, so that's what I do all the time. You see me like planning things or like doing all kind of things, because it's just easier. It's like more intuitive, even if like before I didn't speak English as well, like so it was easier for me to show things rather than to explain things in English. So now that's not a problem, but it's still easier. So for female, like for women posing, what we're looking for is what's called like an S curve, because we have beautiful small waist, bigger hips here. We have a little bit of here, right? So we want to shape it just right. So only like for that, we need to kind of like shape the body so you can see the S curve, what it's called. So basically, for Nigar, just stand like straight for a second. Let me see what you can see. Yeah, right there. Just right there. So stand straight, and then the easiest thing to create a curve is just to put one foot kind of like on the tippy toe a little bit, and I'm showing it to her right there. Yeah, right there. And then pop the opposite hip kind of like a little bit, right there. And you want your back, like sometimes naturally we kind of like do this, just kind of like hunch back a little bit. So you want to kind of like pull your shoulders a little bit uncomfortably back, just to create like that smoother line here. And this is like the simplest thing to do. something like that. And if you don't know what to do with your hands, right, that's a problem all the time. You can actually touch the clothes, like if you're wearing a dress or like whatever here, you can actually pretend that you're just like running your hand through your clothes and like slide the elbow up. So do it with me. I want them to see as well. So this hand, start right over here, like on the hand, yeah, and just go like slide back and see it creates like a nice line here, so you can actually see your waistline, and you bring it back just to create. Hold on, I'm like off center. Wait, so it goes like boom. So okay, try this. See how it creates like a nice waistline here, and you put that shoulder back, and that hand can go forward a little bit. Yeah, and that looks pretty. And again, depending on the angle that you're taking the pictures from, try like turning a little bit. You have to see it, like the same pose can look so wrong from a wrong angle. So you, for that one, your camera wants to be like very straight on. So I'm not gonna take a picture from, even though that looks pretty actually from this angle. So come turn a little bit this way. Because she has a slit too. So that looks pretty. And she's really like slimming herself down on that side. And this hand is showing. That's beautiful. Okay. So let's do something different. And then you can relax for a second. And then the other things, like the basic position is often the same. It just depends which side you're shooting from. So for the front shot, this is like the easiest thing that you can do to make it look beautiful and shaped. And then with the hands, you can do different things. So you can bring it like for something a little bit more modelly, kind of like you can do something like that, like hands up. You can touch your hair to look some, like a little bit more lifestyle. Yeah, like that. You can do waist here if you want to like do more glamour. And with the waist thing, I already did like a couple of videos on that. So if you put your hands back here, kind of like very wide, go like, now go back like, so you see a lot in the front. No matter what you're wearing, you're gonna look bigger here because your hands are kind of like showing that your waist is wider. To make it look small, you just slide them in a bit. Especially if you're wearing something darker than your skin tone, it's gonna create a lot of contrast. So see, like we're wearing black and she's breaking off her waist with her skin tone, with her hands, and it already makes her look small. Like I'm not size small or anything, but when I do this, see how much smaller I look. And actually with the foot, like the easy thing is to just pop it on the tippet toe, or you can go even further and kind of like bring it forward to make yourself look longer, or your models look longer, right? So just like tippet toe forward. And sometimes people go like, let me see. Can you see my toes, you guys? Sorry. So sometimes people do like this, and it looks very awkward, right? It's like, so what I ask them to do is to kind of like put it straight. So your knee goes in front of the other leg. So you want to kind of like elongate yourself. Try this too. Go like, boom. And then if you bring your shoulders back, you're gonna elongate your body. And if you are a photographer, if you're a good photographer, you're gonna squat just a little bit with your camera to kind of like do the low angle so the body looks even longer. But you have to control the background. There's like a lot of factors in play because sometimes you would see some stuff that you don't want in the frame. But this is just for the posing purposes. This is what you want to do. Okay, let's do some sides. So from the side, and there's like different things that you want to hide or want to highlight, right? But basically what we want to see is like a nice, beautiful arch of the back, like right here. Yeah. And then again, the easiest way to do is just to pop one foot on the tippet toe. And if you want it to be really posing, you can place one hand on the back and over here. So see, like she naturally does this. And a lot of people actually do this naturally. Like that doesn't look right from the this angle because it blends with her back. What we're looking for is what is so-called triangles. So we're looking to see this gap. So you can see the small of her back, and she's gonna push her elbow just ever so slightly back. I mean, I'm not actually like touching people when I'm doing this, but what I'm saying is like, I'm actually showing it. Just like you doing this, can you just move your elbow back? So we can see a little bit of the gap here, and this will make you look smaller. That's what I say to people, actually. So everybody wants to look kind of nice and shaped, so it's usually not a problem. And then the other hand, we can create another triangle here to make it look, hold on, let me move. You can't see her. Something like that, and you can turn your face towards the camera, or you can do kind of like sideways, like this. So that's a little bit more kind of like modelly, I want to say. For like normal people, if you want to pose just a couple, if you want to bring like the bride, it's the same thing, like put your foot on the tip of toe, and you can bring your arms around your groom's neck. So that's gonna create like a beautiful, yeah, even like that, like this looks beautiful. Or she can touch her hair, or like the veil if it's like a wedding, or something like that. This is beautiful. Okay, let's try something sitting, shall we? Okay. So for the sitting, and the guard, she looks amazing, right? So for some people though, from the side, who are not as slim as her, you will see like a little, depending on the outfit too, you might see a little bit of a pouch kind of here. So what I do from the side, you can do this, and you're kind of hiding it with your arm a bit. You see it? Yeah, like that. So this, instead of like doing this, if you're not comfortable with that, or like the outfit is too tight, or sometimes it bubbles like here, like some pants they would bubble, like it doesn't look good on camera. Why would you do that, right? I mean, you can Photoshop it, but if you want to get it right on camera, you just do like a little bit of this, kind of cover, maybe like give me a little bit of the shoulder, so like that. And basically what I'm saying when I'm talking to people, I'm pretty straightforward about things. Like I'm not gonna say like you look fat from this angle or anything like that, but I say your pants are bubbling. So we probably should do like, if you do this, I want to see this. So just like pick the language that's not so straight on, but at the same time, they'll get what you're talking about, right? Okay, and sometimes like with her, I'm so comfortable, so I can say things like your leg looks too big or something like that. But for actually like my first time clients, I would never say something like that. I would just say like, can you like scooch a little bit? Your legs look bigger than it is. That's what I say, because this is a better way of saying it. Okay, let's try something sitting. So for women, and it depends like what kind of shoe you're doing, but basically my go-to pose is if you cross your leg like a little bit right there. And it has to be, let me see. I mean, she looks gorgeous all around, so it's actually hard to explain with her. Try, so turn your pointy knees that way. It's gonna be like a little bit angled. Yeah, this is a better cross. So this looks better to me, especially because she has the slit here, so I wanna see a little bit of the skin. And it also looks better, try to do the other way around, just the way you did. For some reason, like the other position looks better for me aesthetically. I can't even explain why, but like with this dress, it's kind of hiding her legs. But if you wear like tight pants, you will see like the difference right away. And especially depends on the shoes too, because sometimes you see like the back of the shoe that looks kind of wrong. So do the other way around, right there. And again, if you want to hide a little bit of here, you can just kind of like lean forward a little bit. So kind of like lean just your upper body. You don't have to like be overly straight if you don't want to. You can just kind of like slouch a little bit too. Yeah, right there. Can you guys see? Yeah, you can. Okay, perfect. And then the same thing, if you don't want to know what to do with your hands, you can actually slide this hand back and go like lean back. But again, you have to make sure like this looks right. And actually it helps stretch your body here, your stomach. If you lean back, like overextend yourself, first of all, you're gonna look longer. Second of all, it's gonna stretch out the fabric. Like it's like when you're sitting, sometimes it's bunching up. So before somebody sits, actually stand up real quick. What I do for my clients actually, because when you sit down, like this dress doesn't show it much, but when you sit down, it looks like this most of the time. It's kind of bunched up. And a lot of people miss it. For me, because I'm coming from a fashion background and I'm so like detail oriented, I make sure, especially like tighter dresses that run up. So I actually come by and I'm like, okay, stand up real quick. I'm gonna hold your dress like this. Come sit down slowly. Right there, cross your leg. And that's gonna look much smoother here. Or the model, your client can do themselves. Just tell them like, hold your dress before you sit. Especially if you're a guy, like you don't want to touch the woman too much, to like don't come off wrong, right? So you want to say your words. You want to use your words or gestures, like you can show something too. Okay, so this is perfect. You can lean back, and then beautiful neck here, right there, perfect. Okay, so what are the things that you can do with like sitting down? Can you take your shoes off so you can get more comfortable? I love some poses that are more like on the floor, on the ground for photographer friends, because you can get an angle that's slightly bit higher than the person, and that tends to slim them down. It just looks, I don't know, especially if you use like 35 millimeters or like wider angle, it just slims down the face and the body, and it looks kind of like a different perspective. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna actually direct her so you will not see me as much. I'm gonna use my words to direct her into the pose. Okay, pretend that like you don't know anything about posing. So come sit on the floor. I'm actually gonna show, like most of the time for me, it's easier to show than to say. So we're gonna sit on the floor, just like this. And I know you have a dress. Can you guys see it? Yeah. Got it. And I know you have, oh, this is for her. I'm gonna do this. And I know you have a dress, so we don't want to show too much. So cover it here, yeah, right there. And try to pop your knee like so. And I want you to like have a nice tippet toe. Put the ball of your foot into the floor, yeah, right there. And actually see it because it's gonna hit me. Yeah, right there. Beautiful. And this hand can go either on the knee, yeah, right there. Beautiful. And bring your hair out like a little bit more. So let's see more over here. So you can do this, like touching your hair. And this hand, like this arm tends to get very like tense. So I want you to relax it. And some people do this way. Can you demonstrate because they can't see? They do it this way that looks very off. So do like the other way around, and I want you to go like all the pressure. So usually when you do any kind of posing, and then I explain it to people too. All the pressure goes right here in the back of your hand. I'm gonna come closer. So when you kind of like position yourself, try to get all the pressure like right here. So your hands are nice and kind of like soft, so you can move them around and they'll look soft here in the pictures. Because when you have like claws or like clenched fingers, that just doesn't look good. So what you can do like on the tips of your fingers, that's fine too, but I think the other way looks better. Right there. And again, we're looking for triangles. So this leg, tuck it a little bit more for me and like stretch it a bit. And that knee, pop it a little bit higher if you can and go like closer to your body. Right then. Now this hand goes right over here, or you can drop it like this way. And again, there's a triangle. So we see it right here. There's another triangle here. And again, it depends on the angle, right? So from this angle that you guys are looking at, that looks good. I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit. Okay, cover like a little bit more because I'm gonna move the camera. Just for you to show like the angle matters. I don't know how far it can go actually. So from this side, it doesn't look as good anymore. And I can't really go further because the cord wouldn't allow me. But basically you need to combine the pose with the right angle. Otherwise it doesn't work. Hold on, let me move it back. Sorry guys. Okay, you can see her, right? And like this pose looks very beautiful. It's more like relaxed and it's easier to do actually what she's doing right now naturally. And a lot of times what I actually do, I just watch people move before I even direct them into the pose. I just tell them like, come sit down on the floor. And I see how they sit. Some people are so natural with like the way they move. So I just fine tune maybe like hands or something like that, or like facial expression. We're gonna talk about it in a second actually. But some people are pretty awkward or they just so tense because they haven't done pictures in a long time. Maybe they just don't know me as a person, so they can't open up. So for those people, it's a little bit more work, but again, it's doable. So, okay, let's do something different. Let's do facial expressions, okay? Because this is the hardest part. And I'm gonna zoom on your face. Let me bring the camera a little bit higher. And you will see our faces. How you guys doing so far? Good. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Somebody's saying she's gorgeous. All she has to do is stand there. Well, that's what she's doing. She can sit too. She is gorgeous. So we made it simple for us today. Okay, so can you see Nigar's face? It's a little blurry, isn't it? Okay.
I have a quick question. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
This is Shiva. Sorry. When you're on the ground, I have this tendency, like if I'm taking pictures, like I'll try to show you with my own camera, but you said to kind of like lean down on the arm, but sometimes the arm,
I know what you're talking about.
It looks a little bigger when you're leaning on the arm. Is there a way to control that?
Sitting down, it's the same thing. So Nigar, scoot like a little bit on that side, and you can sit kind of like leaning this way. Yeah, right there. So if you now bring your body all the way here, so it looks really nice and big here. No, like kind of get like the way you would never do it, like here, right? And you will see the pop of the arm, right?
Yes, exactly.
Can't see much. So basically, what you need to do is just pull yourself up, because like posing, it's work. It's like yoga. So you're holding. You can't just get comfortable, like forget about it. I mean, you could, but it's, sometimes it doesn't look right for camera unless you're like very, very skinny. So you need to pull yourself back like a little bit more to create the space. And again, like you holding yourself in the pose with your core, with your back, like all the muscle groups working. It's not just like, okay, honey, I'm just chilling here. Like it doesn't work for everybody. That's why people, when they come, like I do some glamour fashion shoots, when people come, or like I've done boudoir shoots too, they tell me, oh my God, it's like a workout because you have to stand in a weird pose for like, and if it's taking too long, sometimes like you feel the tension in your body, and that's just what you're supposed to have because it's not easy. Like that's the work. All right, so what we're gonna do, the facial expressions. Do you guys have any questions? You can, hold on, let me zoom in one more time so you can see her beautiful face. Okay, right there. For plus size clients, okay, I'm gonna cover it in a second. So we don't have like that much time today, but I'll see. Let me cover the, somebody's asking about the plus size client poses. And I'm kind of like, I'm size 10, 12, so I'm gonna show you some stuff. So with Nagar, let me show you some facial expressions because common things that I see, clients get very tense. So you're gonna demonstrate some funny things with me, okay? You comfortable with that? So a lot of times, so there's two types of clients who don't know anything and clients who think they know everything. And these, and both of them, you have to work with them. So basically, some people would come and they think that they know their like facial expressions, but they tend to go like, unless you see yourself where you can control how you look, you can look, either have like a resting bitch face, just go like this, or you can have, or like open your lips, but it sometimes it doesn't look right if it's not the right expression because that looks like more pretentious. It's not like I do mostly portrait photography, not just like influencer pictures, you know. So it's cute for Insta stories, but not for actual pictures, I feel like. And then some people get like, they get tension around their brows, around their mouth. So what I do to relax them first of all, I don't say anything. I just watch for the first shots. I just say, like, I give them like basic directions. I start with very basic poses just to see how they move and how they take my directions. And then some people can move like very well and I see like it's going very smoothly. Then I take it the next step further and kind of like give them more complicated things to do. But with the face, it's very hard to get because you need to get the smiles that I'm trying to get out of everybody. So can you demonstrate it real quick so they can see it? Because she's good at smiling. So basically you're not smiling with your face, it's just your eyes. Because you can actually, in the picture, for some reason, you can kind of see the person behind the eye, because the eyes is like the mirror to your soul, right? Or the window to your soul. So you can actually see the person, the energy, feel it through the picture, even though it's not like a moving picture or anything. It's just, actually when I do it, when I'm smizing, I don't know if you feel the same way. I feel like I'm sending the energy. It's gonna sound very woo-woo. I'm actually like, kind of like something coming out through the way I'm looking at you. And the way to explain it to people if they don't know what the smizing is, and I never say that word actually, what I do actually turn like, facing this way. So I stand like I come very close to them, like comfortably close, okay? And I say, just look at me. So I want you to like relax your face and bring your chin down a little bit, right there, and just look at me. And I kind of like stare in their eyes. Some people will laugh right away, and then that is okay, just to break the ice, kind of. They're like, she's weird. What am I doing here? Like, why would you want to stare in my eyes? But then if like the first wave passes, and I'm like, that's okay, just laugh it out. Okay, let's do it again. It's like a training, kind of like exercise with your client that you can do. It actually builds trust too, because for some reason, when you stare into someone's eyes, you're gonna feel connected to the person as well. So that's very important in portrait photography as well, because you need to relax your client as soon as possible. So usually with my session, it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to kind of like just warm up. Even from the first meeting, from the first phone call, you want to kind of like make them comfortable with you. And now we're gonna do it one more time, okay? So just look at me and shoot now. I'm actually gonna show, like I'm showing them things, like put your chin a little lower, and we're gonna repeat. And when you start staring at someone's eyes and start smizing, a lot of people naturally would just copy what you're doing. Some people will get like it's tough for them, but mostly for women, for guys, like I would never stare in like a guy's eyes. But actually I did, like, yeah, so you can say depending, like if it's like a couple portrait, I would never do it with like the woman around, because that's gonna look a little weird. But then if it's like a portrait and I feel like, because a lot of people go blank, you can turn that back that way. A lot of people go blank. Can you try to like, you know how you do like the blank eye, just like, especially when somebody's getting tired or annoyed with you, they just go like, oh, whatever. And you have to kind of like find the ways to kind of like bring them back into the game. And a lot of teenagers do that too, because they just like, whatever, I don't want to be here. My mom told me I'm gonna be here. So, you know, so you have to find like your ways around to get kind of like get to the person, different types of people. Okay, so let's demonstrate some of the plus size poses, but basically the basics of posing and posing your clients is the same no matter what size you are, how tall you are. You just can adjust little things depending on the situation. Basically for plus, and again, a lot depends on the outfit too, depending what you're trying to do. If you want to try to slim someone down, or you're trying to make like someone's very too skinny, so you have to actually make them big in pictures, because it could be either way. So for someone who's a little bit more curvier and bigger, make sure they pick the outfit that actually fits them right. And a lot of times, if you have like vertical lines, or you have like a jacket or a blazer, cutting them in the middle, that's gonna slim them down too. And what I do is, it's the same trick. Like if you want to make the waist look smaller, you just do this, and you can do it with, you can stand up, well, you can do it with one hand like this, and see how my waist, like I'm not skinny or anything, and I have like a mom pouch here. So if you stand like, and obviously if you push your hand, I'll zoom a little bit so you guys can see us. But it's not, again, it's not about the size, it's about the shape. So you want to shape people in your pictures. If you stand and push your hips towards the camera, do that with me. You're gonna look super big in your hips. If you push it back a little bit. Okay, we are almost out of time. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. Hold on. Sorry guys, let me just turn this thing off because it's bothering me. It's right in the middle of the skin. Just give me the warning. Okay, we have 10 more minutes, so get your questions ready. I'm gonna answer in like 2 minutes. So if you push your hips forward, you're gonna look bigger here, because whatever is closer to the camera, that looks bigger. If you push your hips back, and the way you do it, turn your side so you can see it. It's not this, right? So you can move different body parts separately. So keeping your head straight, kind of just create like just your tailbone. Imagine you have a little tail here, and you want to kind of pop it here. So that's the way you do it. And just from this angle, and that's gonna slim your legs too. So watch me, like this or that. So whatever is farther away from the camera is gonna look smaller, okay? And then the same thing, whether if you wanna make someone look smaller or like more shaped, like hourglass shape, again, use hands, or you can use something else. If I had like a jacket, you can kind of like push it on one side a little bit more than the other side. That's gonna create the line here, so you can't really see what's happening under, but you see the other side, and all of a sudden the person looks half smaller. Or if it's a group, so someone who's a little bit skinnier goes to the front. So do like whatever you want to do. And then if I want to look smaller, okay, relax my hand for a second. I can do something like that. And all of a sudden, we'll look the same size. So a lot of things. And then again, plus size models, you can carry weight differently. Some girls are gorgeous, they just like curvy and beautiful. They might need a little bit of help here, kind of like hiding the tummy, but the rest of it looks gorgeous. Some people are top heavy, like I am. So you have to make sure you don't want them like bending forward or anything, because whatever's closer to the camera looks bigger. Remember that. So you can do like I normally do like the opposite. I have to lean back with my upper back just to kind of like make my upper body look a little bit smaller, or the same thing. And again, it depends on the outfit too, so remember that. Sorry, I'm just going to show one more thing. I'm going to answer the questions. The other pose that you can do, you can come sit with me, it's okay. Pretend that we're in the shoot together. You can come sit right over here. So if you have like a bigger chest here and you want to kind of hide it, you can sit, so it's more like, kind of like this. So you're hiding behind something, right? And it can look very gorgeous. So make sure you leave the space between your arms and your chest, and you kind of like drop and angle your body. So it's not straight down, so you can't see anything, but it's more like angle, and then you can pop one hand up. And this arm is actually covering my boobs, probably. I can't really see much, but that's what it's supposed to be. Or you can hide behind like a table, like a posing cube like this. So there's other things. Let me see what other questions that we have today. Thank you. I love the way explained, it makes sense, right? Hold on, let me unzoom so you guys can see me. Okay, let's see. Poses for plus size models. Any poses for couples? There's a height difference. Girl is taller than the boy. Yes. Okay. Usually it's the opposite way, but either way. So basically pretend, do you want to wear heels? You're the guy or the girl? Oh, the girl is hotter than the guy. Yeah, the girl is hot. So basically if there's a height difference, what you want to do as a photographer is to stagger people. So normally if the guy, so you're the guy now, okay? The girl is shorter, that's okay. So you can go like in here, we can hug. But if sometimes there's like a huge difference. So the guy could be like almost like 6 feet tall and the girl is like 4'11". So that's like a huge, and it looks kind of awkward in the pictures. So what I do most of the time, if you can use stairs, you can stagger them. Or the guy just sits. So I'm gonna be the guy now. I'm the tall one. So the guy's just sitting down, and all of a sudden they're almost the same height. She can sit on his lap, kind of like a little bit here. Come sit. So to match the heights, you have to get creative. Well, they can be sitting on the floor together. Let's actually do that. I'm gonna be the guy. Or you can, it doesn't matter if the girl's is taller. Once he's sitting down, you can't really feel that difference. Okay. So I'm gonna be the guy. Can you guys see it? Somewhat, right? I'm gonna point the camera like a little bit lower. How you guys doing on live Instagram? Are you enjoying? Send us some love. We need that. Okay, so you're gonna be the girl, okay? So what are you gonna do? The guy is like sitting like that, usually just like cool, chilling. Okay, you can sit on your hip, kind of like mermaid leg, and kind of place your head over here. Yep, right there. And here we are. Are you taking our attention? And you can do kind of like touching her hair. You can turn kind of like on your back, like light out on me. Yeah, right there. And we can gaze into each other's eyes and just like have like fun couple photo shoot, right? Even if it's like the same sex couple, I would use the same poses actually, because it's the connection between the two people. So, and sometimes with siblings, even you can do a lot of kind of couple poses, but just like fine tune it so it doesn't look too like intimate. Okay, let me see. For couples, okay, height difference, swimsuit poses. For swimsuit, you just do the same thing, but again, you need to correct. So if you have some issues that you're worried about, so yeah, to make your bum look like a little bit more round, it's the same thing with the tail. So you need to go like arch to make it look, and whatever, if you want to look curvier, if you feel like you don't have enough here, whatever is closer to the camera looks bigger. So you might want to just kind of like pop your head towards the camera. But normally I would do it the other way around because a lot of girls have like extra here. So if you want to hide it, you're just going to do the other side away from the camera. So the hip move towards the camera, bigger, away from the camera, smaller. Same thing. And then the camera angle, if you angle it up a little bit higher, like right over here, she's going to look kind of smaller here. Because again, whatever's closer to the camera, like her face and up here, that's going to look bigger. Her waist is going to look smaller because it's farther away from the camera. Okay, let's see. Baby bump poses, I don't think we have time. That's actually for the next time because I'll have a 2-day workshop just for maternity photography where we're going to cover posing, lighting. working with a client, business side of things, everything. So if you want to sign up for this, go to my website at kseniapro.com. And then you'll see like for photographers, and there's a workshop for that. All right, guys, if there's no more questions, I think we're done for today, but let me see if somebody else, if you loved it, I'm having so much fun with this class. Love it. Okay, send us some love if you enjoyed it. Let's do the pose together. That's awesome. Okay, let me see if
So
you.
much fun.
Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. Hope that was useful for you. And I'm here if you want to follow me on Instagram at Ksenia Pro Photo. If you're not doing that, I'm on YouTube at Ksenia Pro Photography, and just visit my website at kseniapro.com. So I'm happy to give you guidance if you need some guidance with posing. And I'm starting to give online photography classes as well. So, and actually we are in my studio. We just moved here 2 months ago.
Studio, so book your photo shoot with her.
Yeah, come for a photo shoot. I'm doing in-person classes for photographers and workshops. So yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Always
Awesome.
fun.